The Nintendo Switch 2 is out, and let's talk about it. Okay, so before we talk about the Switch, if you have watched our previous videos, of course, you know me and my fiance were playing Split Fiction. Um, we did record some gameplay that, of course, is going to be out. If it's not out at the same time as this video, we had some technical difficulties. My headphones stopped working. OBS wanted to update the same day. It was a whole lot. We're definitely gonna finish that gameplay. Please do not worry. In the meantime, I did want to go ahead and record this. This is a topic I want to talk about, obviously, because I like Nintendo. Okay, I like the Nintendo Switch, but they're not on everyone's gun sign right now. So before we get into all of the elephants, because it's not one, all of the elephants in the room, we're going to talk about the console itself, basically. So, what do I think about the price of the Nintendo Switch? So, I do think it's a reasonable price. Hold on. I think it's a reasonable price for the simple fact that with the new console, Nintendo did hit pretty much every single thing that users have been complaining about for years. They corrected, fixed, and even added things that we didn't even expect on the new Switch, which is why I do feel like the value of the $449, just say $450, the $450 for the console itself is a reasonable price. And then they even have $499 for the console plus Mario Kart World. I think that is an amazing price because I'm gonna be honest, I expected it to be like $600, $700, $800. I did. I 100% did. So when I saw that I was so happy. To start off with, we are going to talk about the price of the console. We're not going to talk about the games just yet, just the console. I do think it's a reasonable price. $450 for the console by itself. Let's talk about it. Not only did Nintendo add the chat feature and all of this other good stuff and all the new games, but let's be honest with ourselves. They hit pretty much every single thing everybody complained about when it came to the Switch. People complained about the graphics. People complained about the speed. People complained about it not being able to get higher quality resolution even when docked to the TV or a monitor. People complained about all of these things. People complained about the social setting on the Switch. Like, what is the point of being able to have friends on the Switch if we can't actually talk to them? I mean, yeah, they have the Nintendo Switch app where you can open it during like Animal Crossing and talk to them through the app. Both of you have to have the app to use it. And if I'm going to use that app on my phone to talk to you through my phone anyway, I'm just like, I'd rather just call you over the phone. Because even things like Splatoon or Overcooked, where you can play online with other players, you can't hear them. You can't talk to them. Like, you just can't. And there's nothing more frustrating than playing Overcooked online with another person and you can't say anything to them. You can't tell them like, hey, there's a dish right there. Those were a lot of the complaints. We're not going to talk about the eShop. We're not going to talk about the shop because I'm going to be honest. I'm praying that they fixed it on Switch 2 during the little update. But they haven't said nothing about it, so I'm not going to even go into that. I'm not going to go into that. We already know from the Nintendo Wii all the way up to the Switch, the eShop has always been garbage. So, next topic. So, with that being said, the $450 for the console, I 100% think that is an amazing price. I expected more. I expected them to say, hey, this is going to be $600, $700, even $800. That it was my expectation prior to seeing the actual price. So that $450, yes, that is an amazing price for everything that they updated on the console. I do think that price is worth it. I said the console. We're not talking about the games. Don't you click off. So we are going to talk a little bit more in depth about the console. I'm not going to go into super mega detail because no, just brief it, okay? Just so you can get the gist is what I mean by the value is worth the $450. So I will be looking at my phone because I don't have it memorized. Not that I'm smart, but not that smart. The new Nintendo Switch 2, it does have a larger screen. There has been examples of people showing it right next to the regular Switch, not the OLED. I actually haven't seen anyone compare it to the size of the OLED because personally, I have an OLED Switch. But compared to a regular Switch, this thing is pretty big, okay? Now, looking at it, it does say it's a 7.9-inch screen. The Nintendo Switch 2 also has a 1080p resolution on it, on the actual console itself. 1080p. That is amazing. Okay, we're upgrading. It does have an LCD screen. A lot of people did want an OLED screen just for the clearer picture, but I do feel like the LCD screen, it does bring more color to the games that you're playing. So as far as the screen itself, that doesn't really bother me. The refresh rate. So the Nintendo Switch 2 now supports up to 120 Hz. So it does refresh extremely faster than the regular Switch. It is a big upgrade. They did upgrade the graphics, all of this other things. It is supposed to run a bit smoother during gameplay, which is a big plus. A lot of people, like I said, complained about that. Also, now whenever the Switch is docked, you can now play up to 4K on your monitor, your TV. If it's compatible, you can play up to 4K now. I have a 4K TV. The dock also comes with a fan to where if you happen to buy the Nintendo Switch camera, I'm not buying the camera, then the fan can also be used to help cool the Switch down, whether it's you playing at a higher resolution, whether it's you using the camera and playing at higher resolution, whatever the case may be. It has a fan to help keep the Switch cool, which I've actually never had issues with my Switch overheating. I don't know if that's been an issue for anybody, but I personally haven't experienced that problem. But I do understand it's pushing out more power, so I do expect it to get hot quicker now. So hey, they did also increase the memory on the Switch. They increased it by a lot. Now, as far as the memory, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not super excited for that one because I do feel like, yeah, they're giving us more space, but at what cost? I feel like they're giving us more space, but that makes me think that the games that they're gonna try to now push out from now on is going to be bigger games, especially being that the graphics and everything is better. They're trying to incorporate that into their new games, which is going to take up more space. So that's my thought process on more memory, basically. I'm still getting an SD card. They also did confirm that the Switch 2 will have backward compatibility, which I did expect. Of course, there are some games that are Switch 2 games only, like you have to have it in order to play that game, but you can at least play majority, if not all, and I'm saying this because I'm not going to say all of them, and then some of the indie games are not compatible, so I'm not going to say that, but majority of all your original Switch games can be played on the Switch 2. And of course, games like Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, games like that, they do have upgrade packs that cost money. They have upgrade packs that you can pay to get the better graphics on those games if you get the Switch 2. They don't just come upgraded. You gotta pay to get the better graphics. Next, we're gonna talk about my favorite part of the Switch, okay? This is the part I'm most excited about. We're gonna talk about the new chat feature. So, with the new chat feature, you can now talk to your Nintendo friends. Which, this should have been, I'm gonna be honest, I am very excited for it, but I feel like when they introduce Switch codes and adding people, this should have been already kind of an option, even if it's built into the games themselves. I do feel like this should have been an option because it was a struggle out here. But you can now talk to your Switch friends. Like I said, they do have a camera. You can video chat them. 99, 100%. I'm not getting the camera. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna get it. But I will use that chat feature. I will happily pop in and talk to my friends. I don't know about the screen sharing part though, because I don't want to watch you play. There's YouTube for that. I don't want to watch you play. I just want to talk to you and play games with you. That's it. But hey, we're also going to talk about the mouse controls, because a lot of people, some people are like, oh, that's cool, probably not going to use it. Some people is like, that's useless. I feel like at first I did feel like it was useless. I'm not going to lie. I did. I was like, why do I need that? But it's like after further thought, I realized, I was like, you know what? This actually opens up so much for the future of the Switch. Like, let's think about this, okay? There are people who don't have PCs, whether they're just kids or they just can't afford to build like a custom PC or whatever the case may be, or maybe they just have a regular laptop. They don't have one of those $1,000 gaming laptops, okay? Then it's like, the whole point of having the Switch is to be able to play games on the go. It's the portability. Now, with this mouse on there, this makes me wonder, this opens up to have some PC games on the Switch. Like, let's think about this. Sims. Again, not everybody has a PC. Not everyone could afford a PC. Sims. This is a great opportunity to build a Switch compatible Sims game where we can use the mouse, okay? If they're not already in the works. I don't know, okay? This is coming from my brain, I'm assuming. But it opens up a door to all of those types of games. And you might think, well, okay, well, I have a PC. I don't need to use my Switch to play PC games. Good for you. Like I said, not everybody has a PC. Not everybody can afford a PC. Not everybody can get a gaming laptop either. Those things are like over $1,000, okay? My laptop I only paid like $300. I could play some games, but I will say it is laggy on the more performance games, okay? I'm just saying. I'm more likely to play it on my Switch at that point. On top of that, even if you do have a PC, which I have a PC, okay? Even if you have a PC, if we're traveling, I can't just take my whole PC with me, okay? I can't take it with me. And 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to want to take my laptop with me, because now that's a whole nother thing I have to pack and watch, okay? I don't want to. Unless I'm going to be working on it or doing something like that, that's cool. But again, I have a regular laptop, okay? I cannot record gameplay and actually play the game at the same time on my laptop. It's not going to work. I've tried. It doesn't work like that. So it's like, but what I can do is play it on my Switch. So I do feel like the whole mouse thing, it might seem useless now, but when you think about all of the opportunities that we have for games, it makes more sense. Matter of fact, there's some PC games that are available on Switch right now as we speak. Like what is that game called? I gotta look it up. It is called Bear and Breakfast. Yeah. Now, I know it's not, I don't know if you want to call it a PC game. I'm going to call it a PC game because one thing that I noticed while playing it is it has PC game controls, okay? The controls are janky on the Switch, and I know enough to know that it would definitely be way easier to play that game on a computer. But it's like, hey, it's available on Switch now though, so maybe that's one of the games where, you know, that backwards compatibility, I can now play it on the Switch too with the mouse, make my life easier, make me want to actually play the game. Or the game like My Sims. A lot of people said they didn't like the controls, but that is a Wii game. I have the Wii game. I have it on my Switch and I still have my Wii. That is a Wii game. That is the point and click, okay? Wii, okay? The Switch controls, they are janky because that game was actually never meant for the Switch. It was meant to point and click. But with the Switch 2, I can point and click because it has mouse controls. I'm just saying. Okay, next. God. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the couple elephants in the room. The Switch games. Now, I know I said I agree with the price of the actual console. I did not say I agree with the price of the games. Okay? Listen, $70 was a lot to me already. That was a lot to me already. I had to really want that game to pay $70, okay? But $80? $90? No, I can't even defend Nintendo on that. I can't defend them for those prices. I mean, I get it. It is better graphics. The games are a little bit bigger now because of the graphics, because of they're making them more, how do you say it? Open world. God, I couldn't think of the name for a second. They're making it more open world. They're bigger games. I understand that. I get that. But $70 is okay. You don't need to go to $90. That you're pushing it. Matter of fact, you're letting other companies know, like PS5, Xbox, you're letting them know that it is okay to charge even more for these games. And I don't appreciate that. Okay, we don't need to raise the limit. Okay, we don't. It's a game. Everything is already as expensive and hard to get already in this economy. Why are we making hobbies, things that are supposed to de-stress us, that's supposed to be entertainment, that's supposed to be fun? Why are we making them harder? We don't need to do that. Put it back. But I will say, I'm getting the Switch 2. I'm gonna get the Switch 2. Now, am I gonna get the games? Listen, the only game I'm kind of interested in is Donkey Kong, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm on the fence about even getting that one. I don't even want to buy it. I want the game, but I don't want to buy it, because why is it $80? Why? $70? Okay. Like I said, 70 is still a lot to me, but $70, okay, that's cool. I wouldn't be as irked about it. But $80, $90? That just simply means that a lot of the new Switch 2 games that are coming out, they're going to keep it within that price range. And again, I don't like that. So my initial thought was, I'm going to get the Switch 2 because I want the Switch 2. I want the features. I want to experience it. But at the same time, I'm probably going to stick to playing the games I already have. I have over 10 games on my Switch. Over 10 games. Probably like maybe 20 games, something like that. Somewhere around that range. I'm okay with playing my current games on the new Switch. Like, it's not a biggie. Like, I'm not pressed to buy new games just because I got the new Switch at all. Especially for those prices. Now, the only reason I would pay, aside from the fact I did say yes, I do want the Donkey Kong game. Personally, I do want it. But for that price, I would hold off on it. The only reason I would go ahead and purchase the games sooner is just to record it for you guys. That's the only reason. The only reason. Regardless of how much I want the game or not, based off of the price points, I'm not gonna voluntarily just do. No. I will do it with a purpose. I will do it with the purpose of recording it, playing the gameplay, sharing it with you guys, especially for you guys that are not gonna get it and you still want to at least see the gameplay, stuff like that. I will happily do that. But $80 is wild. I understand paying that price for like GTA, the new GTA game that's coming out. Okay? Because as of right now, at least to my knowledge, GTA is a 1 billion. Is it? Hold on. I want to confirm it. Okay. So it's actually more than I was going to say. GTA 6 cost them about roughly $2 billion to make that game. $2 billion. That's why the price is going to be high. GTA 6 is budgeting $2 billion to make this game, a game that is taking them years to make. On top of that, in its open world, is a very big game. Okay, I understand those 80, 90 ish, those higher prices. I understand that for a game like that. Okay, because GTA 6 is a type of game where it's like, it doesn't matter, it could be 4 years after the release, people will still play that game. They will still add things to it, whether it's online, whatever, to where this game will be played for years to come before they decide to actually make maybe GTA 7. Games like that, those are okay at those prices. It's still high, but it's like, I understand because of the effort and how much it took to even make the game to begin with. And it's a game that, like I said, you can play years down the line. Those are okay prices. But for a Mario Kart game, for a Donkey Kong game, a Nintendo game, no. I can't just I can't stick up for them on that one. I can't. That is a crazy price for those Nintendo games. It's crazy. Like I said, GTA 6, I understand. Okay? I understand. I would happily pay that for GTA 6. I understand. But for the Nintendo games, no. Absolutely not. No. Cuz they're not at that same scale. Those are two different scales, okay? And Nintendo is here. GTA is like I can't even put my arm how high it's up there. Okay? But just know the prices, they ain't matching. The games are, I'm not gonna lie, the games are ridiculous. And what makes it worse for me is the fact that they literally said that inflation, all of that has absolutely nothing to do with the price of the game. Nothing. They chose that price because they wanted to. They chose it because that's the price they wanted to sell it for. Y'all could have kept that to yourself. Y'all could have let people think it was inflation. You could have, but you basically said that we just wanted that price. That's it. It's either you're gonna spend your money or not. You can always play the other games. There's nothing I can say to that. Okay? And now you have people upset, reasonably so, and people are wanting to boycott it. And I'm just like, I really want the Switch 2. I'm gonna get the Switch 2. The games, like I said, yes, Donkey Kong game is the only game I actually kind of want. But the only reason I would get it is literally just for content, just to share it with you guys. That's the only reason. Outside of that, 100% I wouldn't have bought it. I mean, I said like I already got it. I don't already have it. There's no sponsorship, but I'm just saying, like, buying it would not have been a thought. My thought would have been, wait, see maybe if they decrease the prices due to the lack of sales, something. That would have been my thought, but I don't know. Other than that, that is all I want to talk about today. Like I said, we will put out the rest of the gameplay. It's a slow burn, and I do apologize. Like I said, we're regular people. We work. Yeah. But it will get out. I am also going to post some horror games as well. You might see, I might start posting 2 videos at a time. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Be sure to like and subscribe. Other than that, love you, bye.